Zlatan Ibrahimovic joining us. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Good to see you, for sure. Okay, so Christian Pulisic, he just finished a strong first year at AC Milan after he struggled at Chelsea. As someone who has had great success, not only in the game here in the MLS, but also in Premier League and Serie A, what would you like to see out of Pulisic?
I think he did his best season last year with us. I expect him to do even more this season, grow as a leader also because he's a young team and we need these leaders to show the path for the team. But we are there to help him. We are there to support him and just make him focus on football, not soccer.
I'll call it football. I'll call it football. I do want to ask you before we continue talking about AC Milan. Obviously, you transitioned from being a player to now being in the position that you are now. How has that transition been for you?
It's day by day. I have a lot to learn. I have a lot to give at the same time, but I have my experience, but now I'm working from a different angle. So I'm working with good people, the best people, and they make it easy for me. So we're a good team, and I'm excited. I'm enjoying a lot of responsibility, a lot of pressure, but who doesn't like pressure?
I feel like you
I
work
mean,
well under pressure. I don't know.
I mean, we can handle pressure. We eat pressure for breakfast,
Yeah, yeah.
so that's okay.
What's been the hardest thing for you?
The hardest thing is these guys. I know them from before because I
Yeah,
used to play with them. So
right.
now I'm making decision on these players for the future, and it's not easy because from teammate to working above them and giving decisions might be a hard decision and not friendly. So, but so far it's good. I've been friendly so far.
You're a nice guy. Okay, so AC Milan is participating in the DirecTV Soccer Champions Tour, and so far they've defeated. You guys have defeated Real Madrid. How can this summer's success translate into the upcoming season?
I- we came with a young team because many players from the experienced players they're on vacation because they play the European,
Hmm.
so they're dropping in different days. And so far the team has been doing good. We have a new coach also, so it takes time also to get his identity in the team. So we need to have patience. But you can already see in these games we have been playing over here that the team is improving. The team starts to understand his ID. So, but it's preseason. It's heavy load. It's heavy training, 2 times a day training, and these games is obviously good for the players because you play against big teams, you play against big players. So it gives you more adrenaline, gives you more energy to do the hard work because it's not easy. And but everybody's okay so far. Everything is honeymoon.
Okay.
Wait until the honeymoon is over. So.
That's when the good stuff starts.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
I want to talk about your son because your son, Maximilian, he's going to be playing for the reserves. What is it like having your son play for the club?
I, I mean, as a father, I'm very proud. I'm very happy, and he has a lot to do, work, grow. It's not easy for him because if you have my last name already there, they judge you before even you enter the field. And but he is so far he has been strong mentally. I think that is the most important. And then it's destiny. Like if it happens, it happens. But he's working hard. He really believes in it, and he wants to make his own story. I'm not important. He's better than me already, according to him. So I'm just there to push him, help him, and not being too protective.
Yeah,
Because in the end, he has to do his thing.
yeah.
Because I think if you're being too protective, then he's under my umbrella, and it shouldn't be like that. He's his own, and I can guide him, I can push him, but in the end, it's up to him. So I have to put him out there, and he has to go on survival mode.
Yeah.
Very easy.
Do you have any expectations for what his career will look like?
No, no, no. I'm just happy for him. He
Okay.
will. What happens, happens.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about MLS. Obviously, you played here. We know that Messi is here. What do you think? How do you feel like this league is growing the game, the football game, both here and internationally?
I think it's growing. It's going in the right direction, but I think it's growing slowly because when I was here, I remember. I remember it still is. It's too many rules to make it grow faster, and it's that's the slow process. But when it comes to the game, the quality, the individual, the game is growing and is getting better and better. And then you have the World Cup also 2028, which will
Hmm.
be important for the country and MLS especially. So I think when you bring over these big players coming over and showing their quality, then you understand more how the level is in Europe, because the level is much higher in Europe.
Yeah.
With all the respect for MLS,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's growing. I mean, you need to build it from the base. It's not only about the big stars coming and playing the game, because they're not the future; they're present. Then you need a base for the future, and that comes from the youth, the academy. That is more important than bringing the stars.
What do you think outside of the talent? What is the biggest difference between MLS and international football?
I think the experience. You need people with the experience, people that knows what they're talking about, the way they exercise the game, the way they teach the game to these players, and everything starts by the youth. So I think if you get that experience, which you cannot buy, you need to have it or get it. So, and that takes time, like experience.
Do you
Yeah.
think that there's a likelihood, because you mentioned the big names that you see internationally, for more big names to come
I
to
think the
play in the
big
MLS?
names or the attracting, how do you say, top objectives, like that is for the fans and also for the individual to show what kind of level it is, and that is a big difference.
Mhm.
But then you need the youth to take over. So it's not only about bringing the stars, but obviously for the marketing, for the business, for the revenues, which is important
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Those guys are important, and because they bring fans, they bring visibility, they bring different kind of things. But I believe the youth is more important because they are the future.
Yeah.
You want to have a base, even for the national team, for the league, or else you will end up paying a lot of money for big stars,
Yeah. That
and they
makes sense.
cost.
Yeah, they make a lot of money. All right, so the US men's national team is currently without a manager. Would you take that role? Who do you want to see in that role? What does that look like for in your perfect world?
I mean, being a coach is it's not easy. I think as an ex-player, many takes the step to become a coach, and they bring their ego with them, like they know everything and they will take care of it. But it's not the way it works, because when you take the step from player to coach, you start from zero, and you have to take step by step, take the consequences in the beginning in a smaller team or in youth. So you build yourself up, but not many ex-players are doing that in that way, because they have too big ego. I won. I know how it works. So for me, taking that step, I think is too much being coach.
Yeah.
If as an active player you don't have a lot of free time, imagine then as a coach.
Right.
Then it's much more, and I wanna enjoy my life also in a different way.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I'm sure there's going to be amazing
So,
things in your
but
future.
I'm pretty sure they will resolve.
Yeah.